Introduction to Atlas Shard. What if the interface between humans and intelligence wasn't bound by screens, clicks, or constraints, but reimagined as an adaptive dialogue, responsive, contextual, and alive? Atlas Shard isn't just a submission. It's a systems-level thesis, a provocation, and a blueprint for the next paradigm of human-computer interaction. It began with a friction. Modern interfaces are transactional, static layers of input and output, devoid of true semantics, no continuity, no cognition, no co-agency. The core of Atlas Shard is designed to revolutionize the way we interact with technology. At its heart, it integrates advanced cognitive layers and a seamless user interface. This core is not just a piece of software, it's a leap towards a more intuitive, intelligent future. So I asked, what would it take to build an interface that operates more like a thought partner than a command shell? Atlas Shard was born to dissolve the boundary between user intent and machine capability, a system not bound to applications or endpoints, but anchored in contextual intelligence, real-time adaptation, and modular reasoning. It's not just UX, it's not just AI, it's an intent-centric cognitive layer designed to turn ambient information into dynamic interaction. The core architecture follows a reactive, event-driven model inspired by actor systems and Blackboard architectures. Every unit is a shard, a composable, stateless micro-agent with defined interfaces, percepts, which are inputs, reflexes, which are triggers, state bindings acting as contextual memory hooks, and yield, which are UI or behavior outputs. Shards communicate over a publish-subscribe event bus, abstracted from system control flow. This means asynchronous orchestration, decoupled dependencies, and runtime elasticity. At runtime, active shards are dynamically orchestrated via a context-weighted execution graph. It's a directed acyclic graph that prioritizes and schedules execution based on temporal proximity, semantic importance, and user priority. Nothing is hard-coded. Every outcome is emergent, a byproduct of context fusion and behavioral relevance. The context engine, a temporal graph memory model. It doesn't just store key-value state, it builds episodic narratives. Think of it as a lightweight, pluggable semantic vector space with temporal decay and reinforcement scoring. Intent Parser and Fusion Layer combines user language, environment state, and historical context into a unified intent graph, resolved via a multi-pass decision pipeline using constraint satisfaction. Shard runtime. Every shard registers lifecycle hooks, introspective diagnostics, and failure states. Shard health metrics are continuously logged and exposed for real-time observability and replay. UI Composer uses a declarative layout DSL to instantiate interface elements as functionally reactive views, driven directly by shard output. The interface becomes a consequence, not a container. Simulation Harness, a dev-first layer with pluggable probes, hot reloadable logic layers, and system trace visualizers. It's not just observable, it's explorable. Design principles and impact. This wasn't built fast, it was built deliberately, under constraint and philosophical rigor. Design principles: fail forward, components degrade gracefully, preserving context across collapses. Zero dead code, all systems simulate by default before deployment. No hidden state, every decision is traceable, every shard is inspectable. Structure over syntax, system logic is declarative first, imperative rare. Minimum viable intelligence. Intelligence modules evolve only as needed. No bloat, no over-design. This isn't just engineering, it's systemic choreography. Atlas Shard doesn't just change how we interact with software. It changes what software even is. This framework enables agentic operating systems, adaptive creative tools, assistive cognition layers for accessibility and augmentation, and next-gen semantic UIs that blur the line between intention and execution. So as we look ahead, we see a future where technology seamlessly integrates into our daily lives. It's not just about innovation for the sake of it, but creating meaningful experiences that enhance our world. Imagine a place where every interaction is intuitive, every device interconnected, and every moment optimized for efficiency and joy. That's the vision we're working towards. And, well, this is just the beginning. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Together, we're shaping the future. It's a step toward composable intelligence interfaces, where language, context, and capability are dynamically aligned. It's not just about function, it's about feeling, creating systems that feel responsive, alive, and deeply personal. I built Atlas SHARD for Apple because Apple understands that elegance is more than minimalism. It's purpose, perfectly executed. But I also built it for something bigger, for the next wave of systems thinkers, interface designers, and cognitive engineers who believe that intelligence deserves a better interface. This is just the first shard, a glimpse of what's possible, and I'm just getting started.